George Conway, attorney and staff writer for The Atlantic, Tim Alberta. His latest piece for the magazine is entitled "Why Mike Lee Folded." And we are going to get into the Republican Party and the fold. George, let me start with you first, just about your impressions about this debate and the degree to which you think it really shaped the dynamics of the closing days of this election.
Well, I think it can't help but do that, because I think we're going to keep seeing clips of Donald Trump saying the absurd things that he was saying yesterday. I mean, there's just so much that he does that is just a wall of words, a random waterfall of just verbiage. That there were so many things in there that he said that are just completely absurd, not just the cats and the people eating cats in Ohio, allegedly. I mean, he said that he was a leader in fertilization. What is that? What is he even talking about there? I mean, it was just, I mean, the montages that I think people are going to be that the campaign will be able to put together and other people can be able to put together about all the foolish things and the exaggerated things and the apocalyptic things that he was saying. I mean, the more he was pressured, the more he talked about how it's the end of the world if I'm not elected and this will happen. And the exaggerations just make him look silly. And if you stack them all together, and I think that's what we're going to do, that's what people are going to remember, it's going to be brutal for him.
I do wonder, Tim, you know, it's not, of course, just Donald Trump who's going to have to answer for some of the things he said last night, whether that's potentially siding with Vladimir Putin in the war in Ukraine, maybe enacting a national abortion ban. I mean, this is stuff that any Republican on a ticket in November is going to have to talk about. And your magnum opus in The Atlantic talks about the concessions that formerly skeptical members of the party have made in order to gain power and relevance within today's, you know, Trump-owned GOP. I sort of wonder, you know, as you tell the story of Mike Lee, how you think that story, you know, changes or doesn't change based on a performance like the one last night from Donald Trump, and just, you know, how difficult it is for those Republicans who still have a conscience but haven't disavowed Trump.
Well, Alex, it's interesting. I spent the day talking with a number of people close to Trump, close to the campaign, and, you know, the way that they sort of play this off is, well, we're sort of back to where we were a year ago, which is that this is a coin flip, and it's going to come down to, you know, 100,000 voters spread across maybe 12 counties in 3 or 4 states, and that's that. But if you compare that to where the Trump campaign was just 3 months ago, which is they were, I think, pretty comfortably closing in on 320, 325 electoral votes, and Democrats down the ballot in Michigan,